But in the last 2 weeks, a lot of pro wrestlers are getting called out for sexual harassment.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
There's a guy, gentleman Jack Gallagher. Most recently, an indie wrestler, Candy Cartwright, has called out Matt Riddle, who's coming into his own in the WWE.
He's just debuting on SmackDown recently, and all of a sudden this comes out. Go on, Mike.
Joey Ryan, Marty Scurll, and recently Terry Runnels. I don't know if you remember Terry Runnels at all. She called out Brock Lesnar for some sexual harassment. Has the industry always been like this, Tino? Is it always been this male-dominated sexual harassment type of industry, or things have just changed?
Well, I don't know what it's like there today. I mean, if you've been called out, I'm not going to say that the guy's guilty or
no, but
no.
or what. But
were crazy things happening back then the way they seem to be now?
It was pretty wild back then too. It was pretty wild, but I don't know that the wrestlers disrespected women.
Okay.
I especially the women wrestlers that were traveling with the guys. We had a lot of respect for them.
Mm-hmm.
So. I mean,
so you say maybe the old school wrestlers had respect for the industry and had respect for their partners, where it may be different now, where this respect isn't the same.
Or is it just more magnified now because of social media, that every last stone becomes unturned? Is it that?
I think that's it. Just like everything that's going on right now, they catch it on video. You can't talk your way out of it. It's a different world.
Tito Santana, fortunate, smart, or both to avoid the pitfalls that this business obviously carries, whether it's drugs, whether it's women, whether it's whatever it may be? Fortunate, smart, or a combination of both that you were able to steer clear all those years?
Well, I think I was very fortunate, and coming from a divorced family, my parents got divorced, I never wanted my family to go through what I went through as a kid, and coming from a migrant worker working on the fields for $1 an hour, I saw how hard it was to make a buck, and then when I started making some good money, and I'd see some of the guys just blowing money on the road, and I used to think to myself, God, they're spending $100. Well, you have to pay taxes on that $100, so it's going to cost you another $30. And a lot of the guys, as you guys know, a lot of the guys, are hurting. They are having a hard time making ends meet now.
Where do you stand on how Vince should take care of guys then? I mean, is it really Vince's responsibility to take care of guys who didn't manage their money correctly like you did, or?
Well, I don't know that it's Vince's responsibility, but, I do know that we were underpaid back then, but I also don't think that no matter how much he would have paid us, some of these guys would have still ended up, broke. I think if he would have paid me more, I think I'd be a little bit better off, myself, because I was.
Straight to the top. We're living this life, not just